G'day, it's Mark and welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at the last model in the fourth generation of Falcon, the Falcon XF. The XF Falcon was produced from October 1984 to February 1988. From a styling perspective, the XF Falcon featured a more rounded aerodynamic front end from the A-pillar forward. It also featured an all-new instrument panel and new interior, a pass-through in the rear seats for longer objects like skis, for example. The rear taillights were also upgraded. The car had a bit of an unusual look, notwithstanding it was the most popular Falcon ever, because it did have that more rounded front end, but it still had the more rectangular rear end. The rear taillights, the treatment there, also reminded me a little bit of an 88 Mustang GT with sort of an overlay over the tail lights. And depending on the model, that could also be colour keyed, on an S-Pack, for example. The XF was available with a choice of 3.3 litre or 4.1 litre six-cylinder engines. The 4.1 litre unit was standard on the Fairmont models and also the S-Pack. Power and torque outputs for the carburetted 3.3 and 4.1 litre engines saw little to no change from the preceding XE series. Engineering revisions were aimed at improving fuel economy and drivability. The 3.3 litre engine's maximum power and torque remained at 90 kilowatts and 240 newton meters. Maximum power for the 4.1 engine decreased slightly from 105 to 103 kilowatts, while torque increased from 310 newton meters to 316 newton meters. The optional 4.1 litre EFI engine underwent a significant upgrade for the XF series, with a switch from the Bosch Jetronic LE to Ford's EEC4 electronic fuel injection system. Maximum power output increased from 111 kilowatts to 120 kilowatts, and maximum torque increased from 325 newton meters, which is 240 foot-pounds, to 333 newton meters, which is 246 foot-pounds. An XF S-Pack equipped with an EFI engine and 4-speed manual transmission, tested by Wheels magazine in 1984, accelerated from 0 to 100 in 9.3 seconds, while it ran the standing quarter mile in 16.4. There was a change, however, from the 1st of January 1986, where Australian Design Rule 37 came into effect, which meant that all passenger cars had to run on unleaded fuel. So Ford achieved this by fitting a catalytic converter to the Falcons and also modified the engines to run on regular grade 91 RON. Power and torque outputs from the carburetted engines fell slightly. The 3.3 now produced a maximum of 88 kilowatts, and the 4.1 produced a maximum of 97.5 kilowatts. Conversely, the maximum power from the 4.1 EFI engine actually increased slightly to 121 kilowatts, although torque fell to 325 newton meters. Transmissions available with a 3-speed column shift, 4 or 5-speed manual floor shift, or the much more popular 3-speed automatic with the selector lever located on the floor, or in the column where cars were fitted with the bench seat to accommodate 6 passengers, including the driver. In October 1986, a further update was released, which saw the availability of a 5-speed manual transmission, previously only available in the 3.3 litre engine, extended both to carburetted and fuel-injected 4.1 litre engines. Equipped with a 4.1 litre engine and 5-speed manual transmission, the Falcon GL fuel economy was quoted at 11.5 litres per 100 kilometres, which is 25 miles per gallon city cycle, and 8 litres per 100 or 35 miles per gallon highway cycle. Pretty good for a car of that size. The range consisted of the Falcon GL in sedan and wagon, a Falcon GL panel van, a Falcon GL utility. There was also a base model Falcon van and base model Falcon ute. There was a Falcon GLS utility, a Fairmont sedan, a Fairmont wagon, and a Fairmont Ghia sedan. Later in the series, a Fairmont gear wagon was introduced, which is really cool. An optional S-Pack was available on some models, featuring side stripes, fog lamps, styled wheels, Falcon S badging, steering rack adjustment, lower suspension, driver's lumbar support, driver's seat tilt and footrest, and sports instrumentation cluster. All Falcons except for the base GL and the base Ute and van received adjustable steering. The Fairmont gear also had a very nice interior, velour-covered door trims, power windows, central locking, really nice alloy wheels, a fantastic digital dashboard, no doubt inspired or cooperatively produced through their link with Mazda. It had a whole range of features on it, and it really did set a smart example. It also featured driving lights, colour-keyed grille, colour-keyed tail light overlay, and it was certainly a very popular car in the upper-level executive fleets. In 1986, there was an XF&a-half model released, a Series 2 if you like, that had significant upgrades, and it reflected the fact that Ford were aware that their vehicle was a little dated, but they wanted to cram it with as much value as possible. So four-wheel disc brakes became standard, power steering became standard, colour-keyed bumpers also became standard. So it was a very smart marketing move, because what they did was they marketed the vehicle as, you know, maybe it was a little bit dated somewhat from a styling point of view, but it was so well equipped with all these extra features that were extra cost on the competitors that it really made the car outstanding value, and it enabled Ford to maintain its #1 sales position and market leadership overall. During this time, when the XF was released, it was up against the VK Commodore, and Holden, despite lagging in sales, it certainly did push its availability of the V8 engine, because obviously there was no V8 engine in the XF series. And that then carried through. Then Holden switched over to the VL Commodore, which was quite a refined powertrain with a Nissan Straight 6. But unfortunately for Holden, the yen to the Australian dollar made this a very unprofitable vehicle, and ultimately led to General Motors Holden being bailed out by its parent company in the US. While not factory endorsed, there was a Dick Johnson SVO turbo model available, and also a project that didn't really get off the ground, but it was a Ferguson four-wheel drive twin turbocharged Falcon. Pretty amazing car. It achieved really strong performance, less than 15-second quarter mile times from some of the magazines, and it would have been a pretty outstanding vehicle. It was nicely done from a styling point of view. It was quite understated. But yeah, all-wheel drive Falcon twin turbo, how about that? The utes and vans were certainly marketed as, you know, Aussie utes and vans, offering fantastic six-cylinder performance, comfort and power, rather than driving around in what they called a four-cylinder buzz box, which often cost as much, if not more, than the Falcon models. Also interesting during this time was the Button Car Plan, which was a Labor government plan to rationalise the car industry, which led to model sharing. And one of the, let's say, more interesting examples of that was that Nissan was selling a Nissan-badged Falcon Ute. Safe to say it didn't sell too well. This time, Ford also offered a family edition Falcon, which featured a centerfold front bench seat and two-tone paint, along with some other features. The family edition Falcon also came standard with an automatic transmission, and it sold for $13,995, and it compared itself to the Toyota Corona for $13,590, the Holden Chimera $14,027, and the Mitsubishi Magna GLX for $14,296, and it said much more car for not more money, in fact less money. It's worth noting as well that Ford had put a fair bit of effort into noise, vibration and harshness improvements on the Falcon overall, but also particularly the station wagon, where they fitted quite a fuel pump. They also made changes to the drive shaft, and it really improved the quietness of the vehicle and reduced that boom that you get with station wagons. In September 1985, there was the launch of one of the nicest XF models that they produced, which was the special 25th anniversary Falcon. That featured a choice of 3 colour schemes, unique badgings with a nice Falcon logo on the side, unique interior. There were 2,000 of those built. They had really nice alloy wheels as well, and they were a really nice package, very, very attractive. And that celebrated Ford's 25th anniversary from the launch of the Falcon from its very first XK model back in 1960. And the 25th anniversary Falcons were available in silver, white, or Regency red over a grey lower finish. Really, really smart cars, and certainly if you can see one of those for sale, you should pick that up because that'd be a nice car to have, I think. The XF remains the top-selling Falcon from Ford Australia of all time, with 278,101 built, which includes the van and ute models. So I hope you enjoyed that episode. Please make sure you give the episode a like and hit that subscribe button so you can follow along for more of the Falcon history from XK right through to XF. Thanks again for watching. See you next time. Bye.
The spirit of freedom is captured in new Ford Falcon, bringing new excitement to Australia's favourite car. New Falcon takes you further. Its advanced alloy head engine now has the latest in lean burn technology for more power, yet even greater fuel economy to cruise more effortlessly. Climb with ease. Now, stretch your wings with new levels of comfort. Comfort to soothe the senses. New, more versatile luggage capacity. Exciting new instrumentation. Now, driving offers something new. The spirit of freedom. The spirit of new Ford Falcon.
It has again won the Australian Design Award. It continues to win the sales race. Now, Falcon is out to win budget-conscious motorists with this extra value family edition. You get automatic transmission, Falcon's unique centerfold seat, and special style tone paint for a recommended retail price of only $13,995. $1,400 less than the recommended retail price of a comparably equipped Falcon GL sedan. For full details of these special limited edition Falcon models, see your Ford dealer.
Now, Ford moves the luxurious Fairmont gear into a new dimension. With new Fairmont gear wagon. A new dimension in driving comfort, luxury, and space. New Ford Fairmont gear wagon. The new dimension.
Aussie utes and Aussie vans. Compare the price today. When it's performance and value you're looking for, it's Ford Falcon all the way. A man needs a bit of comfort and a little Aussie style. He needs Ford Falcon utes and vans, best by a country mile. For a hard-riding buzzbox, why pay as much or more? Because Falcon gives me the power of a 6 with the price tag of a 4. Ford Falcon utes and vans, they stand alone.